already at the Lucas Oil Rally Menai Stages 2023. You are joining us at a really rather delightful Anglesey this morning. We can just see Damien Cole and Sean Cunny heading down this square right, square left and back down the hill out of sight there. Damien is currently lying in 4th overall. Now we've had a lot going on. There's been a very quick turnaround actually during stage 1 and stage 2. Fair play to the organising club and to everybody who is involved, because that was a really rather spectacular change around. There was running involved and everything, and that was just me and Wayne. Bob Fowden and Matthias Fowden in their awesome looking Subaru in Pletzer S11, having no issues again over the jump, which is good actually, because there's been a few people that have not been so lucky. Car 9 of Richard Merriman and Catherine Curzon, the Darien T90. You might just be able to see it parked on the top of the hill just before the buildings there. Unfortunately, they have broken the gearbox. Unfortunately, he said he just felt it. He came over the jump and just didn't feel right, and then he was he's just lost his gears. He said that something is broken inside the gearbox. Not entirely sure what's going on with that, but he said unfortunately that is rallying, isn't it? You will also see in view there the Pulsar of Harry Rayler and Kieran Ledger. That Nissan Pulsar, unfortunately, being there from stage 1, will remain there for stage 2. However, they are now hopefully sorted and can get back down into service, get that front driver's side wheel looked at properly, and then hopefully they'll be back out for stage 3. Unfortunately, until then, those gentlemen have the best seat in the house and are going to have to just like it and lump it, I'm afraid, and watch this stage. However, at least they now are off the circuit. They've managed to get the wheel back on, and believe it or not, they have managed to find every single one of their wheel nuts. We were actually having a chat to those gentlemen in between the stages in the brief couple of minutes that we had before we had to run. And they said that everything was fine before they set off, but they said that they just have no luck on the first stage. No matter what car they're in, where they're at, something always happens on stage 1. They just seem to come over the jump, and then the pressure of landing, it's just popped the wheel nuts straight off, they think, which has then obviously caused the wheel to buckle and just roll off. There seems to be very, very little damage, which is incredibly lucky, so hopefully they will have a reasonable run now for the rest of the day. Malcolm Jones, we've just seen, and Rhys Jones in their Darien T90. Those are our current rally leaders. We were having a chat to Richard Merriman and Catherine Curzon in the break as well, saying that today, in theory, oh no, what's happening here? Damien Cole and Sean Cunniff have their hazards on. They've come over the jump and have now got their hazards on. They are crawling round the back of the buildings. Have they pulled off? Please don't be joining the car park up here. I feel like we're a bad omen this morning, Wayne. I don't like this. We've got all kinds of problems happening. Oh, they are still going. The hazards are still on. They're just wiping out a few cones in the process. I don't know whether it's potentially a gearbox issue, because we're just... I'm sure that we'll get a text off Sean as soon as they get back to the service area. However, that does not look good for Mr. Cole. Oh, it seems to be better around the corners than it is in a straight line right now, which is interesting. Will Owen and Chloe Louise Thomas flinging that Mark II around there. I feel like this is why I love a Mark II, because they also have a mind of their own. However, they are fantastic to watch. Bowen Evans and Ewan Pritchard in their escort. We've got so many escorts. It's so exciting. Yeah, they have a bit of a mind of their own, that back end. Definitely found that firsthand. I've loved my experience in a Mark II. Would definitely love another go in a Mark II at some point. They're just such fun. And like I said, it's stage one. If you joined us then, that was my childhood. Those were the cars that I grew up watching rally and compete in the Welsh Forest and things like that. So, yeah, just makes me a little bit giddy, more so than usual. Julian Hope and Martin Young in that Proton Iris there. Nice and compact, that car. Imagine that being a lot of fun. Will Owen and Chloe Louise Thomas braving that jump. I'm not sure I would want to brave that jump that much after seeing all the cars parked up here. Oh. Bowen Evans and Ian Pritchard, I wasn't sure whether they had a problem for a second then, because they seemed to slam on just before that corner, but I think they were just rebalancing themselves. Because there doesn't seem to be an issue. Let's have a look at these guys through here this time. They are going for it. Chloe hopefully keeping Will right. Alid Gwyn Charles and Emma Hall, car number 18, that red Escort there. Bertie Morton and Mark Walker in their Escort. It's a definite thing going on, isn't there? We've got Escorts up here. We've got 205s everywhere else. Novas. Evos. The Evo of Jonathan Jones and Ocean Owen. No issues through it there. Phil Turner and Simon Anthony in their Skoda Fabia. And Richard Morgans and James Martin chasing them down that hill. Sean Jones. And Arkin Williams in their Citroen Saxo, clearly having lots of fun. Martin Rossiter and Ian Davis in their RS there. Really going for it. In stage one they were really going for it, and they have a little bit of time to make up, because on stage one, right in front of us on the live stream, they just seemed to get a little bit tail end happy just coming round in front of us, and did a donut, styled it out excellently so, if I do say so, and yeah, but I'm not sure it was quite meant. Ali Charles, Emma Hall, Bertie Morton and Mark Walker. Look, it's just all escorts everywhere. Marjorie Harries and Russell Thompson in their Vauxhall Nova. Here we have the start of the Novas, ladies and gentlemen. That Evo is really quite a big car to get around these tight twists and turns up here. However, Jonathan Jones and Ocean Owen don't seem to have any real issues. Let's have a look at the results from stage one. Potentially a little bit of an issue there. So I've just looked at the results from stage one. Now, we did have Malcolm Jones leading in the Darien, and I'm going to say that that is still the case, because we've got Harry Walshaw in his Peugeot 205 that seems to have done a 5 minutes 23. So I'm gonna just stick my nose out here and say that that's potentially not right. We've then got Paul Wild in a BMW Mini Cooper S. just going to refresh this a little bit, I think. So we're gonna just take Pooh Harry out of the equation there. I think Malcolm Jones lying in first, Jason Wilson second, Bob Fowden in that Impreza in third, Damien Cole in fourth, Julian Hope fifth, Rob Tout sixth, Bertie Morton seventh. We'll keep you updated as soon as we have some stage times after stage 2. Because that is certainly all going to change, because Damien Cole has had some issues on that stage. So we still have Malcolm Jones, car 3, Ines Darien leading, Bob Fowden second, Jason Wilson dropped down to third, Rob Tout up to fourth, and Damien down to fifth currently. Although I do think that that is going to change again as more times are coming in. However, we just have those 5 times for now. Let's have a catch up with you guys. Have a look, see what you're commenting. Apologies, I've left you hanging there a little bit, haven't I? I've been too distracted. Good morning to everybody that is joining us. It's a shame you can't be here because it is rather glorious here. Welcome back to Fernando, joining us again for stage 2. Corley Price, it's rally time. It is indeed. Beautiful Subaru WRC, absolutely. Danny asking if Harry Rail at Kieran Ledger managed to get that pulsar move. Yes, so I'm not sure whether you joined us at the very start of this stage or not, but I just kind of gave you a little bit of an update on them. We were chatting to them in between stage 1 and stage 2, and what seemed to have happened somehow, they were actually saying that regardless of what car they're in, where they're at, anything like that, they have no luck on stage 1 when they're together. No luck whatsoever. So it would appear that they kind of came over the jump, landed, just like the pressure from landing has managed to completely pop the wheel nuts off that front driver's side, and the wheel just rolled away from them. So they have managed to get the spare wheel out. They managed to gather, with the help from Richard Merriman, with the Darien part further up, they managed to find all the wheel nuts and have managed to get the spare wheel back on. However, unfortunately, that was just as stage 2 was starting. So unfortunately, they now have to have the best view in the house. They've got to like it and lump it, I'm afraid, and watch this stage, and then hopefully they will be back for the rest of the day with no issues. Hopefully all the bad luck is out of the way now. However, selfishly, it is giving me slightly more time to just look at it, because for those of you that don't know, we actually have a Nissan Sunny GTIR. So this, for me, in the Castrol colours, just looking at that Pulsar is really quite exciting, really quite special. Throws me back to my first event, all the way back in 2008. Damien, yes, hopefully you got my results update from stage 2. We only had 5 stage times through, but I will keep you up to date with that as we go along. Ken Wilkinson watching. Excellent, enjoy. Edwina Thomas, Go, Will and Chloe, they've been looking fantastic through us. They really have. They were going for it this morning. William O'Brien couldn't make it there today to Marshall, but good luck to everybody in the event. Absolutely. Oh, William, for all the days for you to not come, the weather is lovely. Wayne's in shorts and t-shirt. I'm not quite there yet. However, it has potential today. The sun is out, sunglasses are on. Look at it. Paul Woodford is of course Paul Woodford's getting involved. Why aren't you here, Paul? It's been a while, we're overdue a catch-up. Dean Roscoe, good morning to you. Richard Brooks cheering on Kevin Kerr, give it some beans, mate. Absolutely. Stuart Skeldon, good morning guys, best of luck to Damien Cole. Unfortunately, Stuart, Damien's had a bit of a nightmare on this stage. He was lying 4th after stage 1. However, on this stage he's been going around with his hazards on, so Not quite sure what's going on. I'm sure we'll get an update from Sean very shortly. And yeah, we'll find out what's going on there. However, at the minute, unfortunately, I have no information on that yet. William O'Brien, it's cooking on Merseyside as well. Good. Excellent. Well, it's about time. We're due a bit of a summer, aren't we? We absolutely are. Certainly Wales has had its fair share of the sun for quite a while. It's not been this nice over in not so sunny York. Let's have a look, see if we have any more stage times through. So still lying in first, we have the Darien of Malcolm Jones. The Subaru Impreza just splitting those Dariens up now. Bob Fowden working his way up to second. Jason Wilson in third. Julian Hope in the Proton Iris in fourth. Rob Tout fifth. Will Owen sixth. Richard Owen Morgans following on from him in seventh. Phil Turner in eighth. Damien Cole in ninth. Richie Hughes 10th, and Jonathan Jones in that Mitsubishi Evo, clearly having no issues getting that big car through these tight and twisty turns, because they are lying in 11th. Bob Walker and Corey Powell Jones that we've just seen there in the BMW Compact. And we have the Pauls in the MX-5. We've got Paul Sheard, Paul Gorge there, with all of the different coloured alloys. Dave Allmark and Dave Tortoshell in their Mark II. We've got Kevin Davies and Sean Rowlands in that Peugeot 207. We are just about to see the blue Mark II of Malcolm and Jamie Atherton. After May Davies and Dylan Thomas. Martin Fox and Lauren Hewitt in that Porsche Cayman. Keith Daniels and Andrew Millington with Vauxhall Corsa. And this awesome looking Mark I there of Conrad Law and Charlie Law. Gareth Roberts and Harry Stubbs in the Citroën AX. Oh, I don't know whether you saw that, but we've just had Leighton Smith and Karen Phelps flying over that jump in their 205 GTI. Jackson Willett and Ryan Gray in the Renault Clio. Looking awesome, that blue in this sunshine today. The Pauls, Paul Sheard and Paul Gorge. Paul in Bolton Moors Car Club. Paul has been around this circuit a fair few times in the other side of the car. He's been a part of the MSN Championship for quite some time. Good morning, Dean. How are you doing? Thank you very much. Well, it's a lovely, pleasant day. I won't think about how many hours I've been up so far. Where else would I want to be? Oh, I know. Damien, bless him, is having a nightmare this morning. I don't know. Like I say, I'm just waiting for a bit of an update from Sean. Hopefully they'll be back out for the rest of the day. But no, the hazards were on and he was just steady away. Not sure whether there was a bit of a gearbox issue or not, but yeah. Good morning to Marty Booth, watching from the Isle of Man. Hope you are going to join us. You can join us all day, Marty. We're going to be live streaming every single stage throughout the day. That is the plan. We're going to have a little bit of a venture off at lunchtime while we go and get some interviews done. However, we will be here with you all day, 8 stages, to give you all the action, because today is absolutely, hopefully, just going to be a fantastic day of clubman rallying. It's not very often that you see an entry like this these days. We have a bit of everything. And it could be anyone's ball sheared. Just going a bit wide on the back end there. And what an event it is going to be today. I mean, we always talk, you know, we've got to give so much recognition to the clubs involved, the sponsors involved, the marshals, everybody who's volunteering to give up their time. Because it's not just about the event today. There is so much work that goes in behind the scenes. This all had to be set up yesterday. Everyone volunteers. And it's not just even the weekend of the rally. There's so much work that goes into it throughout the whole year lead up to it. I know myself, being on the committee for a couple of events, there's so much that goes into it. So massive appreciation and shout out to all the volunteers who have actually made this happen. Lucas Oil is the main sponsor of this event. Other sponsors are Titan. Oh dearie me, this is Welsh. This is going to go terribly wrong. I apologise in advance. Titan Yins Mon. Need to work on my Welsh, don't I? But those guys retail car parts and loan the vehicles for the turnaround, which is fantastic. Cadan Consulting Engineers Limited, who lend all the safety cars, and Dragon Batteries, who have given money towards the event also. Fantastic sponsors. What an event to be a part of. This has been fab, and we're only on stage 2. We've actually got some really exciting news for next year's event here. So as a club, these guys, I mean, this must have taken a lot of work, and it's very exciting indeed, so we have to talk about it. I think I'll definitely be here. As a club, they submitted 2 weeks ago an application to Motorsport UK to run next year's event here as a multi-venue with 4 short closed road stages on the outskirts of Llangefni. Again, my Welsh, I really need to learn Welsh. I need to work on this a lot. I will get lessons by next year, I promise. On the Saturday night, so there'll be some short closed road stages on the Saturday night, followed by a full day of rallying at Anglesey Circuit on the Sunday. The date is going to be the 1st and 2nd of June 2024. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, get that in your calendar, because closed road stages on the Saturday night and a full day of circuit rallying on the Sunday. That is going to be a fantastic event. So get that in your calendar. Keep an eye on the Facebook pages, because information about that will go out. Obviously, you can read the regs next year close at the time. But that has gone down on my calendar already, because that's going to be a fantastic. Oh, we've got an update from Sean. Oh, brake pedal to the floor, flat out at 108 miles an hour. That's our update. Sure, we'll get a bit more information about how they're getting on, but yeah, it looks like we have a brakes issue, which would completely make sense as to why they were sort of steady on the straight sections to what they were on the corners. James Durkin and Sam Weller in the Proton that we've just seen in front of us there. Max Pavley and Fiona Crump in the Honda Civic. Gordon Davies and Jack Morris coming over the jump in their Mark II. They're going to come into sight very shortly. Got Hendrik Minderman and Chris Barrow in the Subaru Impreza heading towards us now. And no stranger to this circuit, these guys. Keith Anglesey and Christine Pearson in their silver BMW Compact there. Yeah, those guys have been around this circuit multiple of times. Oh dear. Aaron Evans and Don James will just steady away around that corner, and that sounded very, very interesting. Not actually sure who that was, however, I'm not sure whether we were in a wrong gear or what, but that just seemed to be struggling away there. Let's see how they come around here. Robert Cargill and Sophie Law in this Mark II. Oh, now then, there's rather a lot of fluid hanging. That does not look healthy. That does not sound healthy. I'm not sure what was coming out the front of there then. However, there was definitely liquid coming out the front, and we've got a bit of a pile up here. That smells rather fluidy as well. I'm not sure what that was that came out the front end of Robert Cargill and Sophie Law's Mark II. However, no, it doesn't look, sound or smell healthy, unfortunately. Hendrik Minderman and Chris Barrow. No issues through there. Oh, Andy Jordan and Ian Jordan in their Vauxhall Nova, just beeping around the corners. They're quite quick through those corners. Keith Anglesey and Christine Pearson a little bit quicker on the straights, but as that is a bigger car to get through these tight twisty bits, they are just being caught there by the Jordans in their Nova. The Nova will be making light work of these 90 rights and 90 lefts and twists and turns behind the buildings. I know myself, sitting in the Nova for quite a few years, you certainly didn't have to lift as much going through chicanes. Chris Evans and Paul Wood in that Suzuki Swift Sport. Jim McBain and Sean Morris in the Proton behind them. Now, I don't know quite what happened there. I just looked up and there was a lot of, oh, that's the Mark II that didn't smell, sound or look overly healthy, isn't it? Oh, dearie me, it looks even less healthy now. Fair play to them for pushing on. Peter Taylor and Charlotte Wainwright leading the charge of the cars heading down the hill there. Oh, dearie me, I believe that that is Robert Cargill and Sophie Law in the Mark II that have just parked up over in that hairpin opposite the Pulsar. Oh, dearie me, they'll be keeping Harry Rayler and Kieran Ledger company for the rest of this stage by the looks of it. Fair play for carrying on, because no, when they came round in front of us, it did not look that healthy at all. There was a lot of smoke after going over that jump, so be interesting to find out what's happened there. Damien Craig, has the Red Nova of Mark May been through? I haven't mentioned them, have I? If they have, I haven't seen them. We'll have to have a look on the results, because no, if they have, I can't remember seeing them. Tim Creswell cheering on Andy and Keith in car 42. Morning to Andrew Hutchinson and Mark Thompson. Let's have a look at some more results and give ourselves a reminder of how the top 10 were looking. So, leading the event still after stage 2, Malcolm Jones in the Darien, Bob Fowden in second, Jason Wilson in third. It is indeed going to be a day for the Darians today if this weather holds out. Julian Hope in fourth, Rob Tout in fifth, Bertie Morton in sixth, Will Owen in seventh, May Davies in eighth, Dave Allmark in ninth, Sean Jones in 10th. Damien Cole now unfortunately dropping down to 17th. Got Martin Fox in that Porsche Cayman in at 21st. Now Mark does not seem to have a time. Currently on to have a time. Currently on the results, so we'll try and find out what's going on there. Another Nova, this time the Nova of Jack Edwards and Martin Quant. And the Proton of Jim McBain and Sean Morris heading down behind them. The fab-looking Focus of Joe Roberts and Gareth Jones. With Owen Hughes and Chris Phillips in the Micra behind them. Walshaw and Adam McLachen in the Peugeot 205 heading down the hill. Now we'll have a chat to Harry at lunchtime as well, because at one point he was leading the rally. His stage time, I'm not sure whether there'll be a query with that stage time or whether they had to come off early, not sure, but they had a stage time of 5 minutes something from stage 1, which I'm not quite sure is right. Unless it is, and he's just absolutely on it. Fair play, Harry. Ben Bluer and Scott Watson in the Mini Cooper X there. And a battle with David Ginn and Lucy Gutteridge. And Barry Armour and Robert Bryn Jones rounding it out in the Peugeot 106. Like we said, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be bringing you the live stream for every single stage all day. So do keep up to date with us. Oh, dearie me. Owen Hughes and Chris Phillips really wanting to be past that Focus there. Connor Sisson and Ethan Thompson in the VW Polo that we've just seen. Jack Edwards and Martin Quant. Having no issues. Barely lifting, are they? Oh dear me. Owen Hughes and Chris Phillips standing on the horn, wanting to be past Joe Roberts and Gareth Jones. They're just getting a bit away from them on the straights though. On the corners they are there, but the Focus just having a little bit more power on the straights. Matthew Edwards and Tommy Edwards in the GTI. Nikhil Evans And Jordan Carabine in the Mini Cooper, having no issues through there either. Hopefully we can gather up a few of the casualties up here after this stage. The Pulsar, we know now he's going to be able to drive back down to the circuit area, which is fantastic. So hopefully we will see them back in action on stage 3. And stage 3, do we have the jump in stage 3? Don't think we do, but don't quote me on that. So hopefully no more issues for them. I certainly think that they'll be taking it slightly steadier over that jump for the rest of the day, but hopefully no more major dramas for them. It's game over for the Darien of Richard Merriman that you can just see on the top of the hill there. Unfortunately, they have gearbox issues, so that is their rally over and done with, and we will have to get a bit of an update on the Mark II car 55 of Robert Cargill and Sophie Law, but that did not look healthy at all. We think, yeah, it was probably engine oil potentially dripping out the front there, or something from the rear. I don't know. There was definitely liquid pouring out. I'm no mechanic, so I'm not even going to try and guess, but there was a lot of smoke, and that's never good. I know that much. Ashley Curtis, give the lady behind you a cough sweet. It's me. I'm full of cold. I'm trying not to cough directly down the microphone, so the lady behind me is me. The fresh air on the top of the hill I thought would help. Andrew Hutchinson, well done on passing your HGV last week. No stopping you now. A trucker's life. Absolutely. Yeah, I passed my class 1 last week. So thank you very much, Andrew. That's very lovely of you to say. Yeah, a trucker's life indeed. I'll be in all of the greasy spoons. That's my kind of life, absolutely. So there you go. If anyone needs the rally truck driving, I can now literally drive anything but a bus. So I'm your girl. I actually loved every second of it. It was fantastic. Going for it. Excellent effort there. They had the circuit all to themselves, I think, and they were making use of it. David Ginn and Lucy Gutteridge in their Nissan Micra. I think that's our all then, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully these cars up here will be sorted, and definitely the Pulsar will be back out on stage 3, fingers crossed. So we're going to head off to a different part of the circuit, and we will join you again very, very shortly. See you soon.